Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is part 2 of our assembly, field strip and assembly of the 1911. I have the Colt 1911 Mark IV, Series 80, Officer's ACP. This thing is from 1984, one of the very first ones to come out of the factory, the Colt factory there in the mid-80s. So we're going to put this thing back together. First thing you need to do is you got your slide, barrel. Make sure you put your barrel back in. There's a little lever here. You want to make sure the lever's down so the barrel will go in. It only goes in one way. Okay? Lever on top, barrel slides in. Next thing you do, take the recoil spring plug. You want to put that in. That only goes in one way. You can see there's a little notch on the slide. It's going to line up with that little nub. So put the nub into there. See if I can do this and show you at the same time. Pretty simple, only goes in one way. Next thing we're going to do, take our double recoil spring with our rod, shortened rod. If you have a single recoil spring, that's fine. It's going to go together exactly the same way. Put it inside the plug, make sure the lever's up, and push it together like you would any other polymer pistol or 1911. Now, you want to hold the recoil spring in place because it's under tension now, and it will fly away if you don't. You're going to take that, hold it. This best way for me is just wrap my fingers around it, connect your slide to your frame. All right? When you do so, you want to make sure this connector right here is in the down position. Okay, if you guys can see that connector right there, because that hole that's there is going to line up with this hole right there. And then you're going to stick your takedown lever or slide lock lever through it, and that's going to connect those two, the slide and the frame. So let's do this, see if we can do it on camera for the first time. All right, I think I got it. So if you look in there, it's a pretty clear hole. You're just going to take your slide lock lever or takedown lever, put it through, slides in nice and easy. Now, if you can see on this weapon, this is a used weapon. I bought it a couple of weeks ago. There were already some idiot marks. What that's from is having the slide lock lever all the way in and then trying to jam it through and causing scratches. So what you want to do, just like we disassembled this thing and took it down for a field strip, that little notch right there, you have to line up with the hole right there. Pull this out a little bit so you don't create more idiot scratches. And make sure it's lined up and give it a little push. If we can do this without. And pop it into place. And you are set. You now have your slide connected to the frame. The only thing we have to do left is to put in our barrel bushing. So flip it upside down or the barrel up. You got your barrel bushing here. You want to push the plug in slightly. Get your barrel bushing on there. And you're in. What I did there, I know you couldn't see it, I pushed the plug down right like this, if you can see this, and then that will allow this to turn and put it back into place. Once you release the plug, it keeps your barrel bushing in place. One last thing you want to do. You want to make sure you do a functions check. How do you do a function check with a 1911 or any other pistol? Okay, rack the slide, pull the trigger in a safe direction. Hold the trigger down, rack the slide, release. You'll hear the click right there. Pull the trigger again. You are set. Functions check is good. Good to go, on safe, done. There's your assembly for your Colt Officer's ACP 1911 from 1984. A little about this gun. The only thing on this that's not original is the thumb safety. Somebody put an ambidextrous safety on there, if you can see that. Other than that, as I look through this, from the magazine to the recoil springs to the plugs, this is 100% original to the 1984 when it came out of the factory. Okay, great shooter. I put a few mags through it. had zero problems. I think the only thing I'm going to change on this thing, I'm going to put it back to the original thumb safety. Okay, I'm a right-handed shooter. I just need this thing on the left side. I don't need an ambi safety. So I'm going to put it back to the original. I'm going to decrease it a little bit because I plan to carry this weapon for my concealed carry. Okay? Any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you, and have a good night.